This is White Knight by Jim Butcher, the ninth book in the series, and there were 495 pages and 43 chapters. This is part of the Dresden Files series set in modern Chicago. It is a detective novel, and the main character is a wizard listed in the phone book. So, most magic series, the wizards are in hiding, that kind of thing. This guy lists himself in the phone book, so he's public, and advertises that he can find people, lost people, and things. So he uses finding spells, that kind of thing. People get in touch with him about mysterious mishaps that maybe can't be explained, that kind of thing. So when a group of people start disappearing across the country, the police is unsure how, it's a cold, or not a cold case, but they are unsure how to solve it. And it turns out that all of them being targeted are witches and witches specifically, but and the catch is that they're all seen with somebody wearing a gray cloak. So the killer is trying to point the finger in a certain direction, right? So the main character is a wizard and is part of the White Council, and the wardens of the White Council, the guardians essentially, all wear gray cloaks. And the gray cloaks, they're the warriors, the guardians, and since the war with the vampires started in book 3, the numbers of wizards have been, dying off because of the war, and so they recruited Harry, the main character, and he wears a gray cloak. So he's instantly suspicious since, he wears the gray cloak, and people have been, disappearing. So let's see. I did like that he teamed up with Elaine, his first love. They grew up together as orphans and were taught by the same wizard. And I also liked that Elaine's powers are a lot different than Harry's. Harry is very blunt. He's not very surgical. So his spells do a lot of damage, a lot of power behind them, but they aren't very precise. And I really liked that Elaine is good at like veils so she can hide. And also when they were running down a fire escape, she was able to create a fire escape door magically to keep the smoke out of the stairwell. So that was really cool. That was neat. Also, she did like a tornado kind of thing, and her, instead of a blasting rod, she uses a chain and electricity. So like it's more targeted, it's more precise. I just really think that it's neat how there's different specialties, and hers is more targeted as opposed to Harry that just burns everything to the ground kind of thing. So Elaine is pretty cool. She just kind of shows up and then she just kind of leaves at the end. So it's interesting. That happened a few books ago. But that she is kind of a recurring character, but not really. So she's part of the universe, but like, I don't know. I'm still rooting for Susan personally. I hope Harry and Susan end up together. So that's my plan, but we'll see how that goes. The only thing that I didn't like about this book was Thomas sneaking around. Harry's brother is a White Court vampire, and this book focuses mainly on the rifts between the White Court factions. So I didn't like that he was keeping secrets from his brother, the main character, Harry, right? He could have easily just said, hey, this is what's going on, and that kind of thing, but that wouldn't have been good for the drama and the twists and turns. So either way, that's the only part I didn't really like, and I understand why it was in there. It wasn't my favorite part. I really liked the interactions between Harry and the fallen angel, Lash. He named it Lash, and it is a shadow of a fallen angel in his subconscious. And really, that was a neat dynamic throughout the past like 4 books, and it just helped underscore that he is in conflict with not only himself but others. Right? Is he doing this for the right reasons? Is he a good wizard? Is he using dark magic? His trainer was a warlock and used dark magic, so he's now tutoring and mentoring. Is he doing the right thing? Is he doing it in the right way for the right reasons? So that kind of was a great big underline, and I really liked that part. I also liked in the fire escape scene that Elaine knew about temple dogs, right? Harry's dog Mouse is a temple dog and has not really superpowers, but extra loud barks, can detect dark magic, different things that make him more attuned. And, Harry didn't even know some of those things, but Elaine did. So she's kind of got like a different branch of magic. She knows a little bit more, and it's just really cool. I liked that a lot. Um, when they are out over Lake Michigan, that was another cool adventure. Harry shoots a blast of fire straight up into the sky, and the water turns to ice underneath of him. So they were able to walk across a small section of Lake Michigan. I thought that was a really neat dynamic, and it was really cool to see or read about. I guess I didn't actually see it other than in my mind. Of course, one of my favorite characters is Gentleman Johnny Marcone. He played a role in this. I don't want to spoil it at the end, but his deal with Harry is by far like, I don't know, it's just going to be really awesome going forward. And Molly also helped a little bit, and I really liked her, for the last few books, she's been trying to move the beads, and it was really about strength versus control. And she thought, oh, I just have to be strong enough, when really it was more about the control. So she moved the beads, and she got to go along on the adventure this time. So that was really neat. Really liked that. And as the last thing that I can think of was the mention of a dragon. Ever since book 3, when the vampire war started, I've been waiting. They mentioned there was a dragon, and Harry kind of introduced himself to him. Ever since then, I've been waiting to see more, just that type of character. I think they mentioned there were 2 or 3 dragons, and I want to see more. I can't wait. So this universe has been building for a while, and they have a lot of different unique characters, right? There's cops, there's humans, there's vampires, there's dragons, there's the Knights of the Cross, there's the demons, there's the fallen angels, there's the fairies, right? There's all kinds of different factions, and they're all kind of building up and coming together. I'm not sure exactly how many are in the series, but I think there's a few more to go. So this is only book 9. I got some quotes here before we go. And the first one is about pain. You hurt, you recover, and you move on. Odds are pretty good you're just going to get hurt again, but each time you learn something. Each time you come at it a little stronger, and at some point you realize that there are more flavors of pain than coffee. There's the little empty pain of leaving something behind. Graduating. Taking the next step forward, walking out on something familiar and safe into the unknown. There's the big whirling pain of life upending all your plans and expectations. There's the sharp little pains of failure and the more obscure aches of successes that didn't give you what you thought they would. There are vicious stabbing pains of hopes being torn up, the little sweet pains of finding others, giving them your love, and taking joy in their life as they grow and learn. There's the steady pain of empathy that you shrug off so you can stand beside a wounded friend and help them bear their burdens. If you're very, very lucky, there are very few blazing hot little pains you feel when you realize that you're standing in a moment of utter perfection, an instant of triumph or happiness or mirth, which at the same time cannot possibly last and yet will remain with you for the rest of your life. Everyone is down on pain because they forget something important about it. Pain is for the living. Only the dead don't feel it. So pretty strong, right? It goes one step beyond that failure is important, right? You can only have a success by failing or experience failure, but then this goes on to say pain, right? There's different types and different flavors of pain. That really resonated with me, right? There's like emotional pain, there's the aches and pains, there's, physical pain, but also like loss and struggles, successes, hopes, moving on, and that it just really struck a chord with me. I really liked that part. That was the one quote that I remembered from this book. This one was pretty good. There was a lot going on, a lot of different characters, a lot of different factions interacting, but still a really good book. There was one more bookmark in here. It was during the fight scene. I think it was a typo. It says Vito's hand game up and the gun snarled again. I think it's supposed to say Vito's hand came up and the gun snarled again. Probably just a typo, printing error or something. Not a big deal, but that's the other thing I noted here. So that kind of took me out of the action scene there. But overall, really good read. I can't wait to get going and finish this series. There's so many books, but it's going to be great. So, Detective Mystery Modern Day Chicago. If you like those, check it out and buy your books used if you can.